Hey guys, folks, fellow Cougars or visitors, my name is Gordon Hudson and you've stumbled upon Bleeding Blue and Red. That's Bleeding Blue and Red, no G. And whether you stumbled upon us by accident or here on purpose, thanks for joining me. This is a weekly gab session about our beloved Cougars and what they've done in the past and what they're going to do in the future. I've done it later this week because it's now Thursday of the week of the Holy War. That's what we call it here in the state of Utah, BYU, Utah. It's normally the last game of the season. Well, this year, because of our independence at BYU and Utah moving to Pac-12, it's third week of the season that they're playing it. And, right now, I don't think it's dampened anything about the rivalry, any of the intensity. But we're doing a little later because I don't want to talk so much about and lament so much about what happened in Texas last week. Couple facts. Offensively, still struggling. First half, there were signs of optimism for me. Second half, just tried to protect the lead, and when you try and protect the lead, lots of times you get beat, and that's what happened. Defensively, unbelievable job. I mean, they're just so good defensively. Bronco Mendenhall, he has that intangible, which we call it. He has it. X's and O's, anybody can do X's and O's. When you get out in the field of battle, it's those guys that just seem to know what the other guy's thinking. Those are the guys that just shine, and Bronco is, he's doing a heck of a job. But offensively, we're still struggling. We're still dropping balls. Jake Heaps is not playing very well. And it's more, as I look at it, fundamentally, his fundamentals are horrible right now. And B, he seems to be unnecessarily gun-shy in the pocket. He's getting back, and as bad as his fundamentals are, as soon as he hits his fifth step, third step, whatever, drop he's on, he's letting it go. And a lot of times it's off his back foot. He's not reading what's going on. So we need to do a better job. And so that's all I'll say. And the reason we're being a little vanilla is they happen to be honoring the rich tight end tradition at BYU this weekend. And have invited everybody from Clay Brown, my mentor, to anybody that's played up until last year, tight end for BYU, and they're going to celebrate the great tradition that we have down there for putting out productive tight ends, and tight ends that play in the NFL, tight ends that put up statistics. And matter of fact, we have a fundraising dinner tomorrow night, which I'll be speaking at, and Clay will be speaking at, and then we're also speaking at the Cougar Club on Saturday. So it'll be a good, fun weekend for us, and nice to see some of the guys that I haven't seen for a very long time, and meet some of the guys that I've watched over the last, 20 years. But, I don't want to provide any feast for the fodder and go down there and be asked questions why I was so hard. Everybody knows, how we feel. We just got to do something better offensively. So we're going to talk about this rivalry game, and I've watched them both teams. I watched Utah play both their games, and I watched BYU both their games. And such similar situations, except with Jordan Wind and his shoulder being so bad and his throwing motion so messed up, anybody, you don't have to be an expert at football to know that he's got problems. He still threw for 240 yards last week against USC, which I think, in my opinion, is a better team than Texas. No interceptions. Okay? So I got to give the edge right now to Utah and its offense. Conversely, I think BYU has the superior defense. So the prediction is whatever offense plays the best, I believe that's the team that's going to win. Whichever quarterback outperforms the other, that's that's the team that's going to win. I think defensively, it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be right down to the wire. If Jake comes out of his shell and performs like he did last year, where there was no pressure, you got to understand the kid's young. He's a true sophomore, and I'm imagining that he's suffering a bit of the sophomore jinx because of all the hype. He just needs to get out there and free flow. And if he gets back out and does what he did for us for the Cougars at the end of last year, I predict that BYU will win. Because I think overall, the grand scheme of things, BYU is a better team. Now, we have to play a perfect game, I believe, to beat a very, very good Utah team. And so it's probably going to come down to the turnover battle. Because both defenses, Kyle's always got a great defense up on the hill, and it'll be the same. And so, if we can outperform them and not turn the ball over. And it sounds kind of cliche-ish, but in the old days when I was around, it wasn't really that way. I mean, we just had to score what we normally scored, and we won, and it was just a matter of fact. It wasn't, I know we always worried about turnovers, but we really didn't, I was telling somebody last night, we played at Georgia my junior year, our second game of the season, and Herschel Walker, and went down there, and we threw it around 500-600 yards, but Steve Young threw 6 interceptions, and we lost 17-14. Okay, we still lit it up. We just, it was Steve's second game as a true starter. He had started a couple games as a sophomore in relief of Jim, or in place of Jim McMahon when he got hurt. But, we went down there and we didn't let up. I mean, we turned the ball over 6 times and Georgia didn't. And we lost 17-14. But it never changed the way we did anything. The next game, it was the same thing. So, I've never been a big believer of playing not to, lose. I've always been, as a player, as a coach, I'm playing to win. And when I get up, I'm putting my foot on their neck and I'm keeping them down and I'm pouring it on. And only when I'm way out there, way out in front, do I get into conservation mode. So let's hope we can see some of that out of our vaunted Cougars this week. It's going to be a great weekend. I'm so excited. Whatever the outcome, this is what college football is all about. I hope this game continues to be on the schedule and as important and as fierce as it always has been. And because it is a rivalry that goes down as one of the biggest, most hated rivalries in the country. And it's great. It's fun. And I just want to see both teams do well. Like I said, and I have said in the past, when BYU and Utah aren't playing each other, I'm rooting for Utah just as much as I root for BYU. So I hope our Cougars win. Take a look. And if you're new, you catch this on YouTube and want to be a full-time fan of ours, it's Bleeding Blue and Red. And I'm Gordon Hudson. And that's this week's rant. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week. Bye.